What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day. It's that time of the week again, every Monday, where we go over the previous UFC event to take a look at all of our bets, what bets we won on, what bets we lost, to look at our overall profit and loss to see what we did well and what we could do better next time. But before we get into that, I want to say a massive thank you to all of the members on my website, everyone in my community, everyone that has subscribed to my YouTube channel, and everyone that has just taken time out of their day to watch one of my videos or hit the like button when I ask you to. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Because of you guys, you helped me hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube this week, and that means a lot to me. I know that in the online world, 5,000 subscribers is nothing. I'm a very small fish. There's millions of people out there with hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers. But I'm like a really introverted dude. I like to keep myself to myself. So the fact that I've been able to build, a YouTube channel with 5,000 subscribers from literally zero in about 18 months, it is quite a big thing for me, man. This is majorly outside of my comfort zone. I find being in front of a camera terrifying, so can't tell you how much it means to me. I never ever thought that people would actually want to hear me talk about cage fighting for hours, but it turns out you do, and that's really cool. It's quite a surprise to me. It's quite a shock, if I'm honest. Like, I never actually created this YouTube channel to, build a big following, get subscribers, or even really talk about MMA, to be honest with you. Like I say, being in front of a camera is my worst nightmare. I would much prefer just to not, be in front of a camera and just kind of stay in the shadows and do my own thing. But a couple of years ago, I just went through this period where I was just getting more and more disillusioned by the fact that when you consistently make money on a betting website, they close your account down. They limit how much you can bet. And this has been a problem that has existed since I first began betting on MMA. I started betting on MMA 12 years ago now. My 12-year-old son behind me is the reason why I started betting on MMA, because we were broke. I had him when I was very young, and I just needed to find extra ways to make money. I made the terrible choice of trying to make money from gambling, but in the end it worked out okay. But they were probably smarter choices, right? Statistically, the stats weren't on my side. Thankfully, it's paid off. But when I first started, making money from betting on MMA 12 years ago, I remember having this incredible feeling of excitement, because I went from a situation where I was extremely broke with a newborn baby, not being able to provide basic things, even being able to pay for gas and electricity in the house. That's how bad it was, to suddenly developing this skill where I could make money betting on MMA. And there was this honeymoon period very early on where I was so excited because I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I thought all my problems were solved. And as I started to learn about compound interest and use compound interest-based betting, I could see the potential of what I was doing. I could see that I was going to change my life, and we were going to be millionaires, and everything was all going to be great. And then I remember that feeling the first time I had my Bet365 account closed down, and I logged in and I was trying to place bets, and it wouldn't let me bet more than £1 or two on MMA. And I had no idea that this was a thing. I was trying to place bets, and I was like, well, why won't they let me place bets? You know what I mean? I remember contacting support in a frenzy, and they just basically said your account's been restricted, go fuck yourself, basically. And they didn't say, because you've been consistently winning, but we know that's what happens, right? When you consistently win, your betting accounts get closed down. So for a long time, this has been an issue for me, and I've complained about it for a decade, and ultimately, nothing's changed in a decade. If anything, betting sites have gone more aggressive with how quickly they close you down. And so I was in a position a couple of years ago where I thought, you know what? There's two types of people in this world, right? If you run into a problem, you can either complain about it for the rest of your life, or you can actually try and have an impact on the situation and fix the problem or improve the problem yourself. Or if you can't fix it, at least you can do something to make it better. And so I thought, rather than just complain about this, year after year, and nothing changes, I'm going to create a YouTube channel where I can produce content, shining a light on the gambling industry's dirty little secret that as soon as you start to make a few £1,000 or dollars profit, they'll shut you down. And hopefully that'll raise awareness, and who knows, if I can build a big enough following on YouTube, I might actually get some clout to actually put some pressure on some of these betting sites and gambling companies into making a positive change. And I know they've all got to, manage their liability and manage their risk. I'm not asking to be able to go on to Bet365 or William Hill and bet £1 million on a fighter, but having reasonable max bet limits for everyone, I think, is very, very fair. If we could just bet £500 to £1,000 on any fighter, that would be more than enough to make a very, very comfortable living with our profitability and win rate. So that is why I created this channel. And you can see, I've got this video here, the very first video you'll see when you come onto my channel, where I talk about these betting limitations and how frustrating they are and how unjust and, quite frankly, illegal I think they are. So I created this channel 2 years ago, not to produce MMA content, not to break down fights, but really just to draw awareness to this issue. And that's why the channel is called Diary of a Pro Gambler, because my intention was not to create MMA content. Like I say, it really was to produce videos on this topic. But when I started to plan out videos on this topic, I found that the problem is most people don't know this actually happens. Like, most of you watching this will probably not be aware of the fact that when you start to consistently make money on a betting site, you will get shut down. And so, because no one is aware of this happens, no one searches for it, therefore videos I would produce on the topic don't get any views, therefore my YouTube channel wouldn't grow and it would stay buried forever. So I thought, if I start to make content around MMA that people will be searching for, perhaps then indirectly they'll look at my other videos, on the topic of account limitations and bookies and betting sites doing very, very dishonorable things, and maybe I can draw attention to it that way. So it's been an interesting journey over the last 2 years. 5,000 subscribers is a big achievement for me. Obviously, it is not anywhere near the number it needs to be to start to put pressure on these betting sites and drive positive change within the gambling industry. But we're taking baby steps, and the channel is continually growing. And I really, really appreciate your support. Every time you leave a comment, it helps the helps with the YouTube algorithm to boost, the number of people that YouTube show my video to. Same when you hit the like button, same when you view. It all makes a big difference. And just thought I would kind of say a big thank you, man, because every single week you show up, you watch my videos, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and I really, really appreciate it. Also, many of you take that extra step and you join my community, either by becoming a paid member or a free member. And honest to God, you guys, man, you don't know how much your support means. You really don't. Like, earlier on today, I was speaking to Frozen Throne. Frozen, shout out to you. And he was saying that he's almost earned enough money now to basically quit his job and go to be a full-time fighter, train to be a full-time fighter, travel the world. He was talking about going to Tiger Muay Thai and stuff, and how the money he would make from live betting with us would finance that. And he was like, man, I want to buy you a drink in Wales one day. And I was like, man, you fucking support me enough. Do you know what I mean? You show up every single week, you know what I mean? And that's it. But just hearing about stuff like that is really cool, because as much as I am an introvert, and I being in front of a camera is my worst nightmare, also we are social animals, right? We really are. And all I do really is sit here all day watching fights. And if I didn't have my website and I didn't have my YouTube channel, I would just be here sat watching fights by myself. I have no colleagues, no one I work with. It's not so bad at the moment because my son is in school, homeschooling with COVID. My wife's working from home with COVID. But yeah, I would just be sat by myself, lonely. So what I really love about the website is that it just gives us a great sense of community. Just today in the VIP chat room, we're talking about stocks, we're talking about aliens, we're talking about simulation theory and VR. And honestly, this is going to sound really corny and cheesy. This is going to sound really, really shitty, a weird thing to say. But without you guys, I'd go crazy, because I would just literally be by myself all the time. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where that sense of community, gives me, people to talk to every day. You know what I mean? And people with common interests to like engage with. It's a big deal, man. I've got more in common with a lot of you guys on my website that I talk to every day than my real friends. I can't talk to my real friends about the stock market and crypto and cage fighting and aliens and VR and NFL and football and boxing. They don't care. They don't care. So all you guys on my website, Moons, JB, Gucci, Hypen, Dober, you know what I mean? Matern. I shouldn't start naming people because I'm going to leave people out, but you know who you are. You know what I mean? Sean, Taz, Spiz, Robinson, all you boys, Nick. Mate, I need to stop. I need to stop naming names because I'm going to miss people out. There's a lot more people than that. Dale, Crocs, I need to stop. But anyway, Hiltsy. Oh, God, I feel like I need to name everyone. Guys, the point I'm trying to make is really, really appreciate you. Solar Cowboy, AG Baby, everyone. I'm going to stop naming names. But the point I'm trying to make is I talk to you guys more than my real friends, my real family. We got so much in common. The community means a lot to me. So I'm talking about that because the majority of you came from YouTube, right? The majority of you found me on YouTube. You've come to the website. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that helped me get to 5,000 subs. And before we go into talking about, last week's results, I just want to get some positive shit going on, man. Just want to get a little bit of positivity going on, and just kind of read some of the comments back to you guys that you've sent me, over the last however long. Like, just read out a few of the things you sent me because 5,000 subs is quite a big milestone. The MMA betting community is quite small. I don't know if I'm going to get to 10,000 subs ever. It might not happen. There's not that many people that care about MMA betting. So I thought, I'll use this, read these comments out, and just show my appreciation for you taking time out of your day to send me these nice things. So first of all, shout out to you, AG Baby. First of all, bro, I can't wait to learn about the volatility indicator that you recommended me recently. I need to get the time to look into that, mate. So shout out to you for even taking the time to even let me know that exists. I appreciate it, mate. But AG Baby said, so he said, can't thank you enough for your hard work, man. Changed my life in 1 year. A well-deserved break coming your way soon. AG Baby, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next one. AG Baby again. He wrote a testimonial. I've been in Allsop's live betting community for a year now, and I have 6x'd my bankroll in that time. I might have been even more in profit if I'd been betting as aggressively as I am betting now. As a person, I'm very cautious of being scammed by online gurus, and I can tell you that Allsop is 100% authentic. There have been tough weeks and months, but as long as you stick around, you will be in profit. These testimonials are written by real people, and you can catch most of us in the chat room. Shout out to you, AG Baby. Thanks a lot, mate. And he's just he sent that again. So Jake Mead, what's up, Jake? Jake, big shout out to you, Jake. So Jake's actually had to leave our live betting group this week because he's had to start working weekends, which sucks. But Jake, man, hopefully you can get off them weekend shifts soon and come back with us, mate. Jake, appreciate all the kind things you said to me lately. Jake said, whilst you're getting a bit of negativity, I thought I'd let you know that I'm £21,500 in profit since joining you 14 months ago. Can't thank you enough, mate. Keep doing what you're doing. Really appreciate it, Jake, dude. And Jake also said, I've been a member for just over 2 years. He sent me this just this week, right? I've been a member for just over 2 years, and in that time, Chris turned £3,000 into £43,000 from following his live tips. One of the most genuine guys I've ever dealt with. Unbelievably disciplined, hardworking, and fair in a league of his own. Jake, you are in a league of your own, dude. I really appreciate it, mate. Moons, shout out to you, dude. Moons is blessing us all with his Australian football bets at the moment. I really appreciate all the hard work you're putting into them, dude. I know you're going to absolutely crush it this season, mate. I know you did well last year, but I know you're going to do even better this year. Moon said, joining this community has been the best investment I've ever made. 18 months ago, I found Allsop on YouTube and thought I would give gambling a go for the first time. And I started with $100 as a VIP and thought I would see how things went. With the help of Allsop and the community, I managed to turn it into $1,000. After this, I knew this was a great investment, and I invested another $4,000 into my bankroll and joined the elite club for live betting. This is when things really changed for me. Since then, I've increased my bankroll to $15,000 and it's still growing. It's not the tips that I stick around for, it's the knowledge that I pick up from Allsop and his great community. The things I've learned from Allsop are invaluable and can be applied to many different sports. Allsop puts in the hard yards for us with research each and every week to make sure we have our money in the strongest positions possible. If you want to sharpen up your gambling game, there's only one place to go. That's MMA Betting Tips. Shout out to you, Moons. And obviously, you know, you are doing extremely well with those Australian football bets, mate. Thanks a lot for sharing them, mate. Sushisha, what's up? Sushisha is one of my oldest members, man. Repping the Dogecoin. You're a genius, and I fucking love you. You are a genius, and I fucking love you, Sush. Well, Solar Cowboy. So Solar sent me this last week completely out the blue. Solar, I appreciate your positivity, man. Solar is like probably the most positive dude in the community, so I really, really appreciate it, mate. Really kind words you said here. Said, this is my second year being a VIP member of the website, and I've loved every minute of it. If you're just looking to hear a 15-minute video of some guy's picks or locks, this is not the place. If you're looking for a place to listen, learn, and take part in an in-depth analysis before each wager you make, then this is the group for you. Chris, a gentleman amongst men and a fantastic teacher, will work his butt off for your money. Allsop has created a community and welcomed like-minded fanatical gamblers to share intel and educated opinions in chat rooms and live streams, making his research sessions highly productive with a "it takes a village to bring down the bookies" approach. Bets are made available each week but identified as official bets, loose bets, parlays, etc., allowing gamblers with all bankroll sizes to make strong plays and fun picks. If you've read this far, just join the group and bring some value to our team. Solely, you bring a fucking boatload of value to our team, mate. I'm really, 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 really glad you're a part of it, mate. Thank you very much. And we'll just leave it there. Maybe one more. We got this one more. I don't want to name the person that sent this to me, but he sent this to me like last week. And again, this one hit real big, dude. You know who you are. I posted this on Instagram like last week. And man, it really reading shit like this makes me take what I do extremely seriously. So I appreciate you sharing this with me, man. I won't name you, but this person said, I just wanted to let you know that you've changed my life, mate. I'm 22 years old and haven't really found out what I wanted to study, work with, and what I wanted to do in my life. I was struggling with some depression and addiction. I was kind of off track and a bit hopeless. But since I found betting in your website, my life has turned around completely. I'm making life-changing amounts of money, and my depression is finally gone, and hope is getting back to me. I'm saving up as much as I can and setting goals in my life. I want to have betting, research on MMA, my passion and my work as well, hopefully for the rest of my life. I'm constantly learning from live betting with you. What you provide in knowledge is worth so much, and I appreciate every bit of knowledge you share. Just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so thankful, mate. Thank you so much. I am thankful for you, mate, for opening up and sharing that with me. I really, really appreciate it. And I wanted to kind of post some of these messages because I kind of keep them to myself. I don't really usually share too much stuff like this, but our community is strong. We work as a team, and what I'm going to talk about a lot in this video is some of the stuff I kind of talked about in live betting on Saturday night, but I just want to kind of read those messages out so you guys watching this can kind of understand like the mindset I'm in at the moment, because I feel like I can say stuff myself how I feel, but not until maybe you see the stuff people say to me, then you'll understand why I'm really, really, really driven right now to achieve the goal of absolutely fucking nailing the lab. Because what you gotta understand is it's kind of like this isn't like a product or service to me, in terms of, I'm not sending out t-shirts to just names on a piece of paper. What you have to understand is, you guys are on the roller coaster with me every single week. You're in the research sessions with me for hours. You're live betting with me for hours every single weekend. And over the last couple of years, I've got to know a lot of you really, really well, chatting in the chat room for hours every day, DMs, you guys saying nice things to me like that in emails. And what you have to understand is this goes like way beyond business now, way beyond providing a service, where I actually am really, really dead serious on like changing lives to like a real big degree, because I'm at the moment living very comfortable. You know, we make big, nice lump sum, well, at least in the UK, lump sum tax-free sums of cash from gambling every year. You know, live betting is such a massive cash cow for us, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I get all this positive energy from you guys, and I know that live betting will help you have a nice life. It will help you have a nice life. Every year, you're going to get nice tax-free lump sums of cash that will enable you to do things that, you know, people with regular jobs can't do. It will enable you to have, you know, a real good holiday or two every year that most people will consider once in a lifetime. Maybe a trip to Disney World will be once in a lifetime for some people, but live betting will enable you to do that once or twice every year. You know, you'll be able to have a better car than you might normally be able to have, or, you know, just live comfortable, get that slightly bigger house. It just gives you that extra little bit, you know what I mean, that extra money on top of your job. It's all gravy. And if you really want to live, you know, like a normal life, it will give you that normal life, that living, if you want. You know, if you're happy to make 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds or dollars a year from gambling, easily done with live betting. But the problem that sticks in my chest is that I know that eventually you'll reach the point I've got to, where you'll want more, and you can't get there because the betting sites push you down. They close your accounts, they limit you, they restrict you. And that is incredibly frustrating. And so it's got to the stage now where it's kind of like, kind of like you'll take a lot of shit yourself, in terms of, say for example, like in school you're getting bullied or something. Like, you'll accept being bullied yourself, right, by the bullies. But if your brother or if your sister is in the same school and you see them getting bullied, you're not going to stand for that. Do you know what I mean? You're going to go after them and you're going to defend them. You know, you would take the abuse yourself, but you're not willing to let someone else you care about take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to fight their corner. That's kind of how I'm feeling with this, in terms of, you know, many of you are making really, really good money with me live betting, but it's going to get to the stage where you'll hit that wall where you can continue to make a good amount, but it won't go past that amount, because you can't continually use compound interest to grow that money, because every time you start to, you know, make a few thousand profit per account, you're going to get shut down. So I guess it's a really long-winded way of me saying, because over the years I've built such strong bonds with you guys and I care about you so much, I am now so focused on taking things to the next level so I can continue to like help you and, you know, like, I don't want to say change lives, but it kind of is, because if we can crank out the same level of profitability on pre-fight bets as we have live, we're talking about creating multiple millionaires. Like, there's enough to go around. The liquidity that exists within pre-fight betting is 100 times greater than what exists in live betting. And so when I tell you on a Saturday night in the live betting commentary that I am literally pouring all my time, all my energy, all my focus into cracking these lab bets, these pre-fight lab bets, I'm dead serious, because it goes beyond now wanting to do it for me. It goes beyond. It's become kind of like I don't want to use the word responsibility, but it's kind of like, I don't want to let you down. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you've put your faith in me. You've come to my website. You've signed up. I want to fully deliver, I suppose. And another part of it is that thing where, like, Joe Rogan talks about this, right? Where just people have like that constant desire to develop or improve or create that next new thing. Like always the new iPhone, always the new most powerful computer, always that next thing. And I think that's what the lab is for me. It's just an evolution of what we do now. It's kind of like we've completely nailed live betting. We literally can't do anything better. I think Don Andrea posted in the group, last Saturday, there were like 15-2 or something on the last 17 bets. Something insane like that. We got live betting like locked up, sewn up, no problem. And now all my energy is going into pre-fight betting because I know if we can get to that similar level of profitability, we're sorted, boys. We are sorted, and that is my main aim. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I wanted to talk about this on camera because I was talking about it on the audio stream on Saturday night, but I want to go back over on camera just so you know. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support, whether you've subscribed to me on YouTube, like my videos, watch my videos, come to my website and signed up. Whatever you've done, I appreciate the support. And just know that, like, I am fucking not plateauing ever. This is only going up. Like, literally, I am doing I am literally constantly brain working overtime. How do I get better? How do we do better? So just know that I am properly going to do my best to repay you 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Cool? And now let's talk about live betting and let's talk about the lab. So if we look at live betting it's just got to the point now where live betting is just even becoming stupid to talk about, right? Every single week we crush, and it really is as simple as that. It's got to the point where I don't even know what to say anymore. I just feel like I'm repeating myself every week. So last week we went 2-0 for an overall profit of about 2.7 units. Hit 2 nice underdogs and just a nice clean 2-0 night. And this again just extends our winning run on UFC live betting to almost a comical degree. The last time we took a notable loss on UFC live betting was all the way back in July, which means we haven't made a loss now a notable loss in like 8 or 9 months, which is insane. If you take a look at this, if we disregard Bellator, disregard Bellator live betting, we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, loss. Hang on, I've counted this wrong, right? Sorry, guys. Sorry, let me start again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is virtually break even. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, loss, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I counted that right? It's 24 or 25, right? Anyway, let's just call it 24. 24-1 on the last 25 UFC events. This is fucking insane. This is absolutely insane. And it ain't stopping anytime soon, because we're going to keep putting in 20 to 30 hours of fight research every week. We're going to show up every week. And we've got the discipline, the skills, the knowledge to just keep doing this. And that's it. It's as simple as that. We're crushing, and we're going to continue crushing. So live betting, another very, very solid night. But we've spoken a lot about the lab in this video and how the lab will really, really catapult us to the next level, because we know we have completely cracked the code on live betting, and we're just every single week now busting out gains. If we can do the same thing and hit that same kind of profitability, that same kind of win rate on pre-fight betting, we know that the sky's the limit. With the amount of liquidity available on pre-fight betting, millionaires will be made. So last week on the Edwards versus Muhammad card, we didn't have any official bets, but obviously I've discussed the way that we are doing pre-fight bets at the moment with you guys in the community. And many of you, I know Matern has come up with a really good idea of changing the name of these official bets, because official bets doesn't really make sense anymore when we're placing so many different kind of bets, and replacing basically changing the official bets to a part of the lab, and we'll just call it like tight aggressive, because ultimately the official bets are a tight aggressive style of betting. So I won't be doing that anytime soon, just because I don't have the time. But I think the volume of bets that we've now got, the sample size of bets on the lab, means it's getting to the point where it's now appropriate to just make the official bets another element of the lab, and just one aspect of the lab, instead of putting more emphasis on this style of betting than some of the other styles of betting, which are outperforming, these official bets. So hope that makes sense. If you're familiar with the lab, the way that we bet, this will make sense. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that at some point. Maybe leave it a little bit longer. Maybe get like another 100 or so bets in the lab as a sample size. But I think that's the most logical thing to do. Putting more emphasis on these official bets doesn't really seem logical with how well the other experiments are performing. So if we take a look at them, well, let's get them all up. So let's take a look at our loose bets from last week. So we had 3 loose bets. We went for Dan Ige, Belal Muhammad, and Ryan Spann to win. Obviously, the Muhammad versus Edwards fight ended in a no contest, so we went 2-0 for an overall profit of 2.34 units. We went for Ige and Spann. They came through for us in a big way. And our results for March aren't updated yet. We update these charts. Hiltzy, shout out to you that updates these results for me. Hiltzy updates these results for me at the end of every month. And so we made a profit on last week's card, UFC 259. We've also made a profit on this week's card, which means I think we're going to be up about 4 units on these loose lab bets so far this month, which will mean the profitability chart should sit up here somewhere. So we'll be up about 40 units on these loose bets. And this is what's getting me so excited about pre-fight betting at the moment, because since we switched to this lab betting model, this loose betting experiment is going absolutely phenomenally. We've got over 200 bets now in the database as a sample size, and this profitability chart is starting to look a hell of a lot like our live betting profitability chart. If we take a look at the live betting profitability chart down here, we can see that no variance. We might have the odd few months where we float around break even, but for the most part, profits just trend up. Very, very rarely have a losing month. When we do have a losing month, it's not really a prolonged period of time. We bounce back straight away, and it's just non-stop profits, constant profits. This loose betting chart is starting to look pretty similar. Do have a few dips, obviously, but again, they're short-lived. For the most part, results are just trending up. And I'm feeling incredibly positive about this, because when we first created the lab, the objective was to squeeze more out of the sweat equity, that time that we put into the fight research. We spend 20 to 30 hours every week watching fight footage, right? If we can find a way to squeeze more profit out of the time we spend researching fights, then, like I say again, lives will be changed and millions will be made. And after tracking results in the lab for over a year now, we are starting to do it. That vision that we had is starting to come to reality. That, the goal that we set is in sight. It's too early to get carried away, because it is a sample size of just 200 bets, but in terms of proof of concept, it doesn't get much better than this. And I was talking to JB about this in the VIP chat room on Saturday night, and he was kind of saying the lab's going amazing, but we can't get carried away because we know variance will come. And he's right. Like, there will be flat periods with the lab bets, 100% there will be. But I'm not convinced that they're going to be prone to the same kind of variance that other forms of betting experience, because there's nothing really like this that exists. We do things very, very differently. The way I look at this situation is, I don't know what the future holds. This is all speculation. but it is possible that these lab bets could be variance proof. Obviously, we're going to have losing periods, nasty little dips. But in terms of, prolonged periods of losses and really, really bad variance, I'm not so sure that's ever going to happen because of how we approach the way we place bets. So, for example, if you look at live betting, it's variance proof. There is no variance with live betting. Our skill level is at such a high level that it doesn't matter what gets thrown at us. We're just profitable all the time. It's as simple as that. And I think it is possible. It may not be possible in the early days, but as we continue to learn, it may be possible to get to that point with pre-fight betting. Because what you have to understand is, we're not like anybody else. I've been doing this for 12 years. Do you understand the amount of mistakes I've made over the last 12 years and I've learned from them? Every single question that you throw at me in terms of betting on MMA, have you thought about this? Like, I'll get people in the comments all the time or DMs saying, I think you did this wrong, and what about this? What these guys don't understand is I was going through this problem solving process, tackling the issue they've confronted me with 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I've made so many mistakes over the years, and I'm constantly tweaking, constantly learning. So when I say these bets may be variance proof, it's because over the last 12 years, I feel like I've ironed out a lot of the little weaknesses that could have led to variance. On top of that, if you really think about it, where we talk about variance is a word that's used in online poker a lot. And if you think about what variance is where you'll have a statistically good chance of winning a bet, and then you end up being on the wrong side of the statistics, right? And the statistics don't go in your favor and you end up taking a loss. You think about the context of that in poker. The thing with poker is you get dealt a hand and you've got a set probability of winning a hand. But if you're with two or three other people in a hand, their cards affect your probability, and every turn and every river also changes the probabilities. There's so many more variables in a game like poker, so many more ways that you can lose. Compare that to MMA, where ultimately all we're doing is betting on one of two outcomes. Either this dude is going to win or this dude is going to win. Either the fight is going to go over 2.5 rounds or it isn't. It's only two outcomes. So variance is a play on the word variables, right? The variables haven't gone in your favor with variance. But the thing with these bets is there's not that much scope for variance because there's only two outcomes. Like, how bad can it get? And not only that, but when we do place bets, they tend to be with the odds heavily stacked in our favour, super strong positions. So I'm sure we will have flat periods, I'm sure we will have bad runs, but I'm not sure whether the same kind of variance we've seen on the official bets, which has been brutal at times, will affect our loose bets in the lab in the same way, because I really feel like the volume and the research we do and all we've learned from the mistakes we've made over the last 12 years could negate that. It's an interesting concept. Maybe I'm talking shit, maybe I'm completely wrong, but all I know is every single Monday I get up, put on my t-shirt, sit in front of this computer, and every single week we put in 20 to 30 hours of fight research. We go deep on every single bet, and every single time we decide on a bet, it is torn apart. 10, 15 people in the live stream watch it and we all discuss it, and people throw up risk factors that I didn't even think of, and by the time we decide to lock in one of these bets, there's very, very little room for error because multiple people have agreed on it and seen it. The mistakes we've learned from over the last 12 years, make sure we don't make any rookie mistakes like placing bullshit parlays or betting on heavy favourites or being too frivolous and throwing money away on long shot underdogs that don't have a realistic chance of winning. So I'm very optimistic for these loose bets, man. Sure, we will hit the odd rough patch, but I don't think they're going to be prone to anywhere near as much nastiness as the official bets. I could be wrong, but I'm super, super, super optimistic with how these are going. Let me know what you think. the over-under bets. We had a couple of over-under bets for last weekend. We had two. We went for the under 2.5 rounds in the Rani Yahya versus Ray Rodriguez fight. And that was brilliant because Rani Yahya submitted Rodriguez in round 2, so we won that. And we also went for over 2.5 rounds in the Manel Cap versus Mateus Nikolai fight. So we won a bet on that one as well. So that was an overall profit of about 3 units. And I will bring up the loose lab bets again. Let me just, there we go. So yeah, overall profit of about 3 units on the over-under bets to add to our... How many did we make here? About just under 2.5 units. About 5.5 so far. Even money bets. I'm starting to take these even money bets very, very seriously as well. So obviously we had a bit of a dip, towards the middle part of the year, but since then V-shaped recovery, and we have absolutely smashed it this month on these even money bets. If we look at the even money bets for this month, dating back to UFC 259, so bear in mind, this results chart hasn't been updated yet, so March's results are not in there, and this month, we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 1 on these even money bets. 9 and 1. Our only loser was on Peter Yan, who won the fight, basically. He was winning. So... if Yan hadn't thrown that illegal knee, we'd be looking at 10-0 on these even money bets this month. It's outrageous when you think about it. It's insane because let's just call it 10-0 because Yan was dominating. To go 10-0 on even money bets, like the even money experiment, if you're not familiar with it, is where I pick a winner in every single fight that has an odds range of between 1.65 and 2.30. So any fight that's got odds between 1.65 and 2.30, I have to put a bet in to pick either side. With the theory behind the experiment being, we do so much fight research that over the long term, we may be able to beat the bookies at the even money odds range based on our knowledge of MMA outweighing that situation where the bookie can't really and the public can't really decide which guy should be the proper established favourite. And to go 10-0, it's just outrageous. That would put our profitability chart when it gets updated in March up here somewhere. And despite this nasty little dip, a very, very nice trend is going to be forming on these even money bets. I'm starting to take these very, very seriously. You don't put together a chart like this and go 10-0 on a month with pure luck. A lot of fucking research, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of hard work has gone into putting this 10-0 together this month. And like I say, if we can keep this going, lives will be changed. We've got over a year's worth of results now. Over 150 bets. It's getting to a decent sample size. And not only is it getting to a decent sample size, but it's multiple experiments. If you add these bets, 154, to these bets, that's a sample size of 350 bets. Over-unders, 30 bets there. That's 380 bets. A sample size of almost 400 bets. And with 3 different experiments... 3 different experiments, they're all profitable. Every single one of them is profitable. Sample size of 400 bets. I just don't see how it can go wrong from here. I really don't. And then, of course, we also had a good night on prop bets. So prop bets, obviously, I don't personally like prop bets to the point where I've even got disclaimers on my website above the prop bets that I recommend, where I kind of tell you guys that these are risky bets and the majority of them will lose. However, having said that, since we've been tracking results on the props over the last 2 years, we are profitable, averaging a profit of about 20 units a year. And we had a very, very good set of results last weekend, right? We had Matthew Semmelsberger to win by knockout at TKO. He came through for us. We lost this one. We bet Charles Jourdain to win in round 3, so that was a big winner for us. Obviously, it was impossible to win that, but we kind of had a feeling he would finish Rocco in the 2nd or 3rd. He got it done in the 3rd. We lost this bet. We won this one. Ige came through for us in a big way to win by knockout at TKO. We won this one as well. Span to win by knockout at TKO. He came through for us. This was a push because the fight ended by no contest, and this one was a loser. So overall, that is what is that profit last weekend? Let's take a look. 39.38 take away 17.88 equals. So a 21.5 unit profit last weekend on live betting. No, that's not true actually, because that includes the last event as well. Let's add it up. Let's add it up how much we made on this event. Let's just add it up. It's not 21. I think it's about 17, something like that. So this was a push. Nikolai -1. Span 3. Ige 6. Yoda would take us to -2. Jordanian round 2, that was a loser. Jordanian round 3, that was a winner, so that would be 9. Rodriguez was a loser, so that's -4. And Semmelsberger was a winner, 3. So if we go 3 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3 equals, take away 4 equals. So yeah, overall profit of 17 units on the props. So props are going well. And it's just one of those things, man, where a big gear shift for me was just back in 2017, back in 2019. We went through that period where we were putting our money in strong positions with those official bets. We were putting our money in really strong positions week after week after week after week. And we just went on that insane run where no matter who we bet, they just got themselves flash knocked out. You know what I mean? Against anyone. It was a run of, a few months where we were getting so many unlucky wins, just the guys getting knocked out of nowhere. And when guys weren't getting knocked out, they were either underperforming or they were losing split decisions. Just a horrible period of variance and a horrible losing streak. And back then, we were kind of theorising that a big reason why that might have happened was because we weren't placing many bets. We were going for that really tight strategy. And so if bad luck hit you on one fight, that would kind of be like your weekend at a loss and there was nothing you could do about it. So we theorised that if we placed a lot more bets, that bad luck would be able to hopefully balance out. And that's exactly what's happened. And, through these loose bets, it's just going absolutely amazing to the point where I now feel like we're taking a more investment-based approach to betting on MMA, because realistically, no matter what people tell you on YouTube or online, no one knows the optimum way to bet on MMA. No one knows, man. MMA is constantly evolving, and there are so many different ways to approach this. What the lab enables us to do is diversify our approach to betting on MMA. It's exactly like business. It's exactly like investing. Diversification is key. If you're a business, you want diversified streams of income so that if one goes down, one source of income doesn't perform very well, your entire business isn't in trouble because your other sources of revenue, your other sources of income will pull it up. Same with investment. You don't want to go all in on Bitcoin or all in on Tesla. You want to have a little bit of gold, maybe buy some property, maybe some classic cars, maybe some Pokemon cards, gold, stocks, little bit of everything, so that if one is struggling, if Pokemon cards crash, or if Bitcoin goes to zero, your rental properties, your houses, your stocks can carry it up, your gold can carry it up, that kind of approach. And for the longest time, the way we were doing things on the website was broken because we only had two different kinds of bets. We had live bets and we had pre-fight bets. And if either type of bet was struggling, that would drag our performance down on the website because we were so heavily weighted 50-50. Whereas now, we've got 7 different kinds of bets on the website. We've got live bets, we've got official bets, we've got loose bets, main event picks, even money picks, tight bets. We've got even money bets. We've got prop bets. That's 8. I probably repeated myself. 7 or 8 different kinds of bets. So that if we do have that, bad slump on even money bets for that 3-4 month period, it doesn't feel so bad. Our account balances are still growing because the other 6 or 7 types of bets that are profitable are pulling us up. Maybe prop bets perform really badly over a 2-3 month period, but then over under bets perform really well and it balances it out. This investment approach to betting is going to change the game for us, and like I say, if the chart continues to look like this is not hyperbole. You have to understand is there's so much liquidity available in pre-fight betting that millionaires will be made, because the problem is with live betting, you're at the mercy of the max bet limits set out by the online betting site, right? At the end of the day, when you consistently start to make money on those online betting sites, they will shut you down. But if we can produce the same kind of chart for pre-fight betting that we have for live, you can literally walk into any casino in the world, or not in the world, but any casino with a sports book, bet 5, 10, 20 grand on a fighter easily. You could go to multiple casinos and do that. At the moment, that's impossible with live betting. The max betting limits are too low, so once you reach a certain point, you can't continue to compound your profits anymore. In the UK, there are hundreds of betting shops in every major city. In London, there are probably thousands of betting shops. You could walk into every single betting shop in London and bet £500 or £1,000 and keep continuing to compound your money and compound your profits. So I am crazy optimistic about the way this is going. Like, I know I talk about it every week now, but like, let's take some time to understand the power of what we're doing. Just on last week's event, we were undefeated. It was a clean sweep. If you take prop bets out of the equation, because they're highly volatile, and you just look at our solid bets, Ige, Span 2-0. Over unders, these two went 2-0, so we're 4-0. Even money bets, 1, 2, 3, 4. We went 8-0 on the last event. Like, this is not a joke. This is hard fucking work. Like Dale said a few weeks ago in live betting, once we hit that winner, I can't remember who it was on, but like Dale said, hard work is undefeated. And the whole point of this really long-winded video, I don't know if I've got my thoughts across properly, but I'm just kind of trying to say to you guys that I really, really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me, and I hope you're seeing that the lab is the way that I'm trying to repay you. You know what I mean? You put your trust in me, you put your faith in me, and I need you to know that I can't guarantee I won't let you down, but I will fucking try with every single, like, electron of brain power I have. I will dedicate it to trying to crack the code of pre-fight betting and get the profitability to the point where you will be able to just make big money using compound interest from these bets. And at this point, I guess it just now comes down to, at what point do we feel confident enough in these bets to start taking them extremely seriously? At what point? After how many years? What number is the sample size? Is 400 bets enough? Does it need to be 800? Does it need to be 1,000? Does it need to be 2,000? That's the only question left to answer. And my job is to just keep this going. And from my perspective, I will keep this going, and I can keep this going because I've got 12 years of making mistakes and learning from them. I'm grown up enough. I'm mature enough. I'm 37 years old this year. I'm not impulsive. I'm not some young guy that's inexperienced and thinks he knows everything and is going to jump in and get reckless and get overconfident and make mistakes. I've done all that. I've done all that, boys. I've done all that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I've done all that. You know what I mean? I'm 37 years old. I've done it all. Now we're at the point where we take all those years of pain, all those years of frustration, all those years of learning, combined with the hard work we put into fight research, and we just take this shit to the next level so that we don't have to worry about betting sites like Bet365, William Hill, Paddy Power, Ladbrokes. Name them all, man. ManBetX, Bet Online, all of them. Fucking all of them. We don't have to worry about them shutting us down anymore, because these pre-fight bets are going to enable us to walk into any casino, any betting shop with a big pile of cash, bet it on wherever fighter we want, and use compound interest to make life-changing amounts of cash. And you know what? I'm sure at some point they'll stop us. I'm sure they'll be like, you can't come here anymore. You can't place bets. But that's fine. So I'll find someone who'll walk in and do it for me. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's all I got to say. So I hope you appreciate this video. I probably didn't get my thoughts across very well. I guess I'm just trying to say I really appreciate your support. I don't take it lightly, and I don't take your trust lightly either. And I'm working my balls off every week to try and repay your faith you put in me, because when you guys send me kind messages and positivity, and you say a bunch of cool things, you know, in the live betting group every week, you know, saying silly things like joking, calling me supreme leader and stuff, but it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like what I do is worthwhile, and it makes me feel like I'm making a difference, and that's huge, and it means a lot. And because of that, I have a real big fire inside me to pay you guys back on a level that is going to be massive. So thank you for watching. Sorry about the rambling. I hope you liked this video. If not, it is what it is. Take care. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Nice one, guys.